Hi, welcome to the Late Late Horror Show.
Scared me.
What? Oh, jeez, did I scare you?
Yeah.
We're doing Bride of Frankenstein. Bride of Re-Animator.
Almost the same thing.
1989. Very good movie.
You think?
Yeah, I liked it.
It was my choice.
It was a little slow.
Finally.
Yeah, we did so much.
Now that we're done with the little creature movies.
We did so many shit movies that I said, Ted, you picked one out.
And this is what I picked.
And he picked Bride of Re-Animator. Which is, it's a good movie.
A rare sequel again.
Yeah.
Because we
one that starts off slow, but builds up through the end. And
a big gory end.
Has a lot of really gory stuff.
A lot of cool practical effects as the end comes up.
Yes, which we'll talk about. And very Frankensteinish. I mean, this is...
There's even a shout out to Mary Shelley in the credits, thanks to Mary.
Yes, it says, and the guy that plays, Dr. Herbert West, when he's in the lab, he goes, "She's alive!
Yeah.
She's alive!"
Yeah, I mean, it's purely there, that's what they were doing.
And in the background on the one picture, it says Mary Shelley.
Mary Shelley.
And remember the neon lights in the back?
Yes, the neon lights.
When the city streets are pretty and...
The back of my neck is dirty and gritty.
Don't know what I'm talking about. But nevertheless, we get the return of Dr. Herbert West, who is also working with Dr. Dan Kane.
It's going to be really hard for me not to say Dean Kane the whole movie.
Dean Kane. That's Superman!
Or D&K, like the discount store we used to have here.
Let's start the movie.
Now the movie.
But, and you also get the return of Dr. Carl Hill.
Yes.
The head
of him, anyway.
If you know Re-Animator, you know the Bride of Re-Animator.
Yeah, the guy that walks around no head.
So, yeah, there you go.
But hey, don't get Barbara Crampton, her agent.
No, Ted was so very upset.
Oh, I like the beginning.
I know, the beginning was
awesome. You bastard! This is Dr. Hill's head talking.
His head is just floating there. Yeah, it's really, really cool. I love that. See that head floating down there?
He's got all that blood in his mouth. Now, see, in the original movie, that head got crushed. The eyes got popped out.
Where's his head at? His head's right there. In between me and your head.
How's that head coming back?
Huh? Yeah, his head's right there. I'm going to have him.
So now we're in Peru, where there's lots of cocaine.
Oh, we just jumping right in there.
8 months later, and 10,000 miles away from the massacre at Miskatonic Medical School.
Wait, so where is this at? Dr. Herbert West and Dean Kane.
Dean Kane finished their tour as volunteer medics in a bloody civil war, where they have found a key element for their experiments into the nature of life.
And death. Yes.
They don't explain at all how Dr. Herbert West survived the end of Re-Animator, where he got pulled into the wall or whatever by all those tentacles.
Yeah, Ted will talk about the plot holes.
For dead. And evidently they've left the country here. They don't explain what happened to Barbara Crampton, because the end of Re-Animator is him trying to bring Barbara Crampton's character, Meg, back to life.
Yes, I remember that.
The screen is black, and you just see the reagent pushing in and a scream and
the reagent.
That's
what we forgot again. We forgot some kind of glowing liquid.
I used to have when I bought the DVD.
Like Mountain Dew.
I have the Blu-ray now, or I'm getting a brand new Blu-ray coming out from Arrow.
You're getting a brand new
at the beginning of next
DVD.
Month. Well, because it's going to be awesome. But
one for the shelf.
Because honestly, I'm not a big fan of like really gory movies, but I love Re-Animator.
I know.
I always have. But anyway...
This chick's hot as hell, though,
Francesca.
Francesca.
I don't know...
She's a foreigner. I'm not sure what...
She's supposed to be an Italian journalist.
Right.
But that's never mentioned, I don't think. I don't recall.
No, Francesca, yeah.
And
Francesca.
But for someone fighting in a Peruvian...
It's me, the spicy meatball, no?
She's fighting in some Peruvian civil war, and she's got makeup on. She's looking hot.
Oh, yeah. She's drenched in blood dripping down her... Cleavage?
Yeah, cleavage.
Her cleavage.
Dan and Herbert are working as medics, like they said at the beginning.
Yeah, ambulatory services.
And this gives them access to fresh bodies to conduct their experiments. And the experiments have moved from just bringing back dead bodies to Herbert's much more interested now in bringing back parts he realizes that the spark of life resides in every part of the human body.
Mm-hmm.
And this actually goes to the book a little bit. If you ever read the short story, Herbert West, Re-Animator. I don't know if you ever read it?
I've never read it.
Never read it?
Never read
cool. Actually, it was written in 1921, 22.
Yeah.
And it may very well be the first work of fiction that had zombies as the dead coming back to life.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, shoot! There we are.
Yeah, I was over here the whole time. And that's a little shout out to the book there too.
Oh.
I shouldn't say book. It's a short story.
To Dracula?
It was a story that was serialized. Like those Weird Tales magazines. And,
what's your favorite cereal? Mine's Fruity Pebbles.
Captain Crunch.
Okay.
Halloween time, I'll say Frankenberry, but
I like Captain Crunch with all the berry crunch?
Oh, that's just like old school.
Just
Captain
all
Crunch.
Berries. Like the red, blue, and green.
Captain Crunch, all the way.
Okay.
Can't go wrong.
So, throwback to all the cereals.
If you give me Reese's Pieces cereal, that's... Oh.
They got that still, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Reese's Pieces cereal,
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can find a box of C-3POs. It wasn't bad.
C-3POs. I remember that. But yeah, I know I interrupted you.
No. I was just talking about how the idea of animating parts and not the whole body is a little shout out to one of the later chapters of the short story. So even though this movie doesn't follow the story very closely at all, there's little bits of it in there. So
yeah, I hear you.
So it looks like the rebels or the enemy in this war.
Whoa, H.P. Lovecraft! Bride of Re-Animator!
The enemy of whoever the Peruvians are fighting in the Civil War, they're winning, and
then there's just some big montage of bones.
Basically, Herbert and Dan
Kane.
They have to escape. They're overrun by the enemy, and they have to escape. Claude Earl Jones. That's James Earl Jones' sister.
No shit!
Brother or something.
You gotta be shitting me.
No, it's totally... Oh, look, The Secret Life of David Gale.
What the hell are you talking about?
It was a movie.
I know that the doctor... who's the doctor? Dr. Graves in here played George Jefferson's brother on All in the Family.
Wow.
And pretended to be George Jefferson because he never wanted to see Archie Bunker in All in the Family. Okay, these are shows back in the
Why
late
didn't I
70s.
remember this?
Huh?
Why didn't I remember that?
He looks a bit older. Ooh, bosomy. Ooh,
Booze.
wow. Don't stop. Whoop. What?
Just watching the credits.
Yeah.
Oh, and you gotta say
what?
Yeah, but I don't remember that at all.
No,
I
yeah,
watched All in the Family all the time.
Yeah, you don't remember the George Jefferson character? And
I know George Jefferson.
I mean, when they lived next door.
Yeah, I remember that.
Wheezy and
before
Lionel
the Jeffersons.
Yeah,
before the show, the Jeffersons.
They used this guy.
God, why don't I remember that?
Who played his brother once George. What's his name? George Jefferson. What's the guy's name again?
Sherman something.
Sherman Hemsley. A little bit of trivia from old school TV.
That's the only good TV was old school TV.
Yeah, man. Sanford and Son, on Family, Three's Company.
Oh,
Three's Company too.
Even me and my wife, we still like to watch the reruns.
Oh, I love that.
Company.
You know what?
Never a bad.
That's what I need a marathon of.
Yeah,
Three's Company.
And I even think I'm even one of those that think
all this talk and banter
the last
during
few
these
seasons were even better, than the earliest. Like I think the last roommate they got, Terry. The nurse.
You got a roommate?
They had a nurse.
Remember
that? I think she's like the best one out of all of them.
Oh, Terry was hot.
Yeah, but not just that. I mean, she was funny. She was a good actress. And
you didn't like Chrissy Snow?
You know that dumb blonde thing only goes so far. And then they got what was her name after that?
I forget her name.
But the really tall, really kind of good looking one. But I can't remember her name. But she was like a clutch. She was like a female Jack Tripper.
Yeah,
you know. And her name will come to me like in the middle of the podcast. But
there you go.
She wasn't in it very long because then she moved on to Dallas.
On to part 2 next couple days.
Oh, yes. So somehow...
Yes?
Herbert West... Oh, and I also want to mention Richard Band doing the music here.
Yes. Charles Band's brother.
I love the Re-Animator theme. That
yeah, it's a very cool music.
Once you hear it, you'll know it anytime you hear it. And I think that's pretty rare.
Yeah. Ted tried tricking me the other day with. We were doing that. I was playing the music because we like to play soundtracks all the time, right? And he put on. He said, "I'm going to put some Brighter Re-Animator music on the soundtrack," and he was playing it and stuff, and ended up being Nightmare Before Christmas music, and he totally fooled me. And I was like, you know what?
Yeah, I can see that.
But anyways,
well, again, as I said, the movie never explains how Herbert West escaped. And after all that hoopla that happened with Dean Halsey getting reanimated, Meg Halsey dying, Carl Hill getting decapitated, somehow they get jobs at Miskatonic Hospital, and somehow Dan Kane and Herbert West, well, I don't know about Herbert, but he was in medical school. Somehow they're both full-fledged doctors now without ever having finished medical school.
Yeah, I often wondered that. Ooh, great grotesque
that was a cool
image. Hellraiser.
And they are visiting a patient named Gloria, who's very ill.
Gloria, I think I want to love you. Love you.
Look at this Asian robe this patient's got on.
Oh my God, I didn't.
I'm loving that.
I did not notice that.
You dig that?
Here's Dr.
And I just got to say, about Gloria,
Here's Dr. Wilbur Graves, George Jefferson's brother.
I think he's really projecting Meg onto her.
Right, yeah.
It's almost like he's got, he's very attached to this patient. And she says something like, the only thing that doesn't hurt is my head, And
there he is.
And I love
George Jefferson.
Really damned. And I love how Herbert takes his light, looks around, and he's like, "Yep, you're right. That part of you is perfectly healthy." And all he's thinking about is getting parts.
Yeah.
He's got his eye on the prize, and he even warns Dan, don't get so attached. And you never see a doctor actually lift a patient off the bed and put them on the gurney.
Right.
I'm sorry, but that doesn't happen in hospitals. That won't happen.
Yeah.
Some colored guy comes up in blue scrubs and takes the whole goddamn bed down to the surgery area.
There's Dr. Carl Hill's
some colored guy.
Head. Some colored guy.
Yeah, this cop, Lieutenant.
Man, I didn't think there'd be enough to talk about here during this beginning sequences, but man, I can't even get it.
Can't get a word in edgewise.
I can't, because I wanted to talk about. Well, right now we got Carl. We'll talk about it real quick. But Dan and Herbert West, the two doctors, kind of got this little back and forth thing going on too throughout the movie.
Yeah.
Where Herbert's totally into this. Dr. Frankenstein, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And Dr. Dan Kane.
He's got a little bit of humanity left.
Yes, and Herbert keeps pulling him in.
Just when he thought he was out, they
pulled him back in. But they keep trying to convince him. Okay, and that takes us to
this cop.
The cop that comes in,
Lieutenant Chapham, who, that last name is a character in the original story.
Chapham,
whatever.
Lieutenant Leslie Chapman.
At the pathology lab.
I know that because I wear chaps when I ride my cowboy horse.
Love it. He shows up at Dr. Graves'
my cowboy horse. Not my
office.
Indian horse or my Western horse, my cowboy horse.
But
Go ahead.
Underwear, man, with the ass hanging out, David Lee Roth style. What do we say? And he's questioning him about the Miskatonic massacre.
I'm driving Ted nuts.
You're totally off.
Go ahead, sorry.
He's questioning him about the Miskatonic massacre that happened several months ago, and he says, I thought that case was closed. Not to me, it's not. Okay, we'll see how legal this is. But then he just throws a package on the table, and it's Dr. Hill's head.
Well, here we get a glimpse of missing feet, and it's going to come into play too. But he throws the Dr. Carl Hill's head down there.
Someone found it at a sideshow circus, which is a deleted idea from the movie that there was going to be a scene with them.
That would have been cool.
Being found there,
but it would have made it a longer movie.
Yep, so there, Dr. Hill's head is reintroduced.
And at the same time, I think
the body has gone missing. Right.
But isn't he kind of telling? Look at Dr. Herbert West just peeks his head in through the door.
Well, the reason is because when he takes him down to the incinerator, I guess the hospital actually cremates bodies too. They're looking at the evidence locker where all the body parts and all the evidence.
The good old days.
Which it's not in police custody; it's in the hospital.
Right.
And there's like a bottle of reagent. There's half corpses.
I know, just bagged up. Yeah, this is all the stuff from that crime scene.
Right.
But I think it's because that doctor's trying to find out too. Dr. Graves.
Well, right, because the bodies haven't shown any signs of
decomposition.
Decomposition. He's trying to figure out
it's not breaking down.
And
like me,
the cop hasn't really explained.
Breaking down.
The lieutenant hasn't really explained why he's so interested, but they go down to the
Halsey, Megan Halsey's heart. Okay, go ahead.
And he shows the ballerina who couldn't cut it and cut her feet off, and they're gonna burn that body. And he questions him about missing body parts.
Right.
There's been parts missing from.
Well, the guy that wheeled them down.
Who would take body parts? And that's where you see Herbert West peeking in the door. And like you were just
and he's going in there to... Yeah, I don't know what...
Meg Halsey's heart.
He had to have been in there many times before, right?
I don't know,
or is this the first time?
I don't know. Maybe it is the first time.
They just
came back. They just came back. So.
Okay. Oh, that's true. That's true.
And he sees Dr. Hill's head in there. Oh, and he's gloating.
He's going,
now you're a nobody.
Yeah. Stuck in plastic, wrapped up in plastic.
He's like,
But the funny part is...
What do you think about that location of the will in the brain now, Doctor?
And you could hear it breathing. Dr. Carl Hill's breathing just a little bit. Like take a gasp in that bag. Which means there's still some life even there now that you see it in that bag.
Bastard. I love it. I
love later on when he... the bat. But
that's going to get wild. So, Herbert's kind of pilfering body parts.
Dope.
Jeffrey Combs is awesome.
Yeah.
And I've seen him in a handful of movies. I've seen him in From Beyond. I've seen him in, like, The Frighteners. Did you ever see The Frighteners with Michael J. Fox?
We did a commentary on it.
We did a commentary on that one.
Ted's asking me if I've seen The Frighteners.
I forgot. We've done like 100 shows.
He played an awesome character in that movie.
Yes, he did.
Very OCD and very, very strange.
And we should do From Beyond sometime. That's another. It's from the same people that made this. It's also loosely based on a Lovecraft story. Yeah. It's got Ken Foree in it. It's got Barbara Crampton wearing S&M leather.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's got a lot of cool effects. I think we should do it soon.
There you go.
There we go. From Beyond.
From Beyond. On the list. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm saying.
Tree fall 6 or 8. Who do you appreciate?
So what happened next? I missed it.
They're going to the old house that they live in.
Oh, okay.
That old...
They live in an old... it's the house that was attached to a cemetery, so it'd be maybe like the funeral home or almost the Undertaker used to live.
Yeah, like the cemeteries.
Not the wrestler, the Undertaker.
No, not Andre the Giant.
Oh, you know what? There was a scene like Gloria just had her surgery and Dan was there. And,
You're
going to be all right.
Right.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, just coming in to check on her. And
that's right. This is a pretty nice house.
Felt her up a little bit,
which
was wrong.
Well, I mean, if there's a patient that's kind of out of it, I'll totally do that. No, I don't. Because most of the patients we get are 90 years old.
Oh, boy. Okay,
now, Dino, on the other hand, he likes those old lady toppers. So.
Well, they hang, down, and you can use them to, wipe down shelves with dust. You put one of those little magnetic...
Put a Swiffer underneath it.
You have
just got such a good grip.
And just push her all the way along, and you get... Yeah, it happens, but saggy toppers. Saggy toppers.
I don't even know what kind of song to make out of that.
Big old saggy I still need my guitar, but...
Didn't one of your kids play the ukulele? You bring that down here. I could hook up I could get you a few chords going.
That's right. It is upstairs.
Honolulu, baby.
What you going to do?
That's our other show.
Okay, here we go. Yeah.
So they have a little laboratory in the basement.
They don't need to know about that.
And and Dan goes down. Yeah. Dan goes down.
Give us some comments. Give us some love.
Here's Herbert climbing out of the wall. Did you know we practically share a wall with the crypt?
Yeah, the crypt next door.
And you're wondering,
the thrift crypt!
What the hell's he doing?
Go check him out.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
what?
There you go. Are they going to pay us for that? Nah, kid.
They'll be doing a little opening
Next time I want to be in one. I gotta hang out down there. I gotta be there when the time is right.
I'll let you know.
All right.
Yeah.
But, Herbert's just climbing out of the wall.
Oh, what?
He's climbing out of the wall
from the mausoleum next door.
What's going on in there? And that's a little shout out to the book later on.
I know that's... Like I said, the ending scene becomes very, very cool, and a lot of stuff starts happening.
And he's like, good, because I want to show you something.
Yeah, he slips out of that mausoleum that's next door, and he's got it bricked up, and he asks Dan to pull the thing to cover up, the entrance, the brick section and stuff. Something. Which ends up bricked off later on again anyway, so I don't know what he did, but anyways.
Maybe he didn't have the bricks and mortar ready.
Yeah, and what's here? I guess he's
got a concoction that he's made here that will, if you take like chloroform and put it on somebody's face, it's kind of like that. But he's doing it to this little lizard that they've been kind of using to experiment on. Yeah. And it will simulate cardiac arrest. Yeah. When it's inhaled. And it is virtually untraceable, which is good for Herbert.
Virtually.
And look at him just slicing that gizzard open.
Yeah, and he's immediately going
What's he going to pull out? The embryonic sac.
Yes. And he's going to put some concoction together of that and some other stuff.
Some proteins. Yeah. And some reagent.
Yeah, and why?
Because it will be the primordial ooze that all life comes from.
Right, because he's still working on it.
Because it's not just bringing back the dead now, because that's proving to be very difficult to get. For this to even be remote. Okay, take it like jumping ahead. Even when the lieutenant, when he brings him back, he's probably the calmest one out of all the people he brought back from the dead.
Yeah, I guess that's...
But he's still not normal. He's not he doesn't wake up and think, okay, I'm perfectly fine. Yeah, and that's only seconds.
It's like a raging lunatic, but,
but not as bad as the others, drooling. Maybe a little drool.
Yeah.
But, so that's not really working. So now he's obsessed with the idea of just taking parts. Now that they've discovered that life resides in all cells of the body, take parts. And, as fresh as parts as you can get and create life.
And I love how towards the end he puts all of this research together kind of in a Frankensteinish kind of way.
He almost reminds
body parts of everywhere. But
remember in Bride of Frankenstein, Dr. Pretorius? Making his little people.
Yes.
Yeah, it's almost a shout out to that.
Yeah.
He's almost like Dr. Frankenstein and Dr. Pretorius. Like, I almost see Dan as the Dr. Frankenstein character. Okay. And Herbert West as the crazed Dr. Pretorius, because right here, he's showing Dan, here's what we can do. Here's some wire. Here's some fingers. Stick all the fingers into the wire, and here's an eyeball. We'll wrap it around, drop some reagent on it, and all of a sudden it comes to life.
Yep.
And it starts crawling away.
So there's life in every...
he's the crazy one.
Yes.
Dan, I think... I think
spit it out, Ted.
The methods of achieving it, he's not in favor of.
Yeah.
Yet he will still follow Herbert down the path. And what are you texting now? What? Ooh.
Yeah, 2 giant pizzas with mushroom and sardines,
and a cornbread crust.
And a cornbread crust.
I want my pizza with collard greens and a cornbread crust. I actually called pizza.
I would sprinkle it with sugar.
Did you ever do that? Call a pizza. You call the pizza and order something.
Look at that.
What the best thing was? Is to call Blockbuster.
Yeah.
And we would do this. I used to make some prank phone calls, and we would call
back in the day.
And you would ask for Blockbuster was a place where you could rent videotapes in case you don't know. And some people don't know. And you'd ask them if they had these movies that are still in the movie theaters. You're like, hey, you got Terminator 2? No, it's still in the theater. And you'd go through 4 of them, and then you'd finally ask, okay, do you have 8-Man Fuckfest?
And they'll go,
we don't carry those kinds of movies.
Or they'll just hang up, It's like, after all of that. No, yeah.
I was like, what? I like that movie. It's a damn good movie. Oh, look at the cool little stop motion as the little finger guy.
Oh, yeah. No, I was saying, I mean, and the funny thing is, after he animates it, reanimates it.
Yes.
He just lets it go.
Yeah, turns it loose.
He's like, whatever. I walk away.
A real treat. He's like, look.
And this is what I said. This is
heart.
Yes, and this is the plot of this movie. This point forward is putting this female together, and in Herbert West's mind, he's got it all planned out. He's going to coax Dan by saying, "This is Megan's heart."
But does Herbert really need Dan to do this? I don't think he needs Dan, but I think he recognizes in Dan
Everybody needs a partner, I think, even in this. And if he can get
I
one...
almost see, like, in the original Frankenstein, he wasn't taking body parts and reanimating body parts.
Right.
Not like Herbert does.
Well, who knows?
So that's why I almost see him.
He was actually doing, though.
So you see what I mean? I almost see, like, Dan as more of the Dr. Frankenstein part. He wants to do it, but then after he does it, he realizes what a mistake he's made, and it's terrible. And
even in the Hammer Frankenstein, though, remember they've got the aquarium with body parts in there and other.
But he wasn't crazy like Herbert West.
No,
Cushing wasn't crazy.
Well, this is on its own.
I'm trying to compare, I guess.
You can't compare.
I'm trying to compare not so much Hammer Frankenstein, but like classic Frankenstein.
It's like comparing and contrasting Red.
Maybe someone out there will think
felt fabric.
I always felt Dr. Frankenstein was a little bit more heartfelt, in the original book and everything. It wasn't quite a maniac.
He means what? No, you're right. I get
so
you.
I almost, compare Dan to that character.
See, right here, he actually takes that heart, Megan's heart.
And they're going to build all around it. There's the first piece.
Yes, he puts it right smack dead in the middle of that
Look, he looks at the pan where the little finger dude was.
He's trying to look for... He's trying to look for Lester. Where are you, little hand?
And there's a knock at the door. They have like a little red light that goes off when someone's knocking at the door.
He called it a cycland. Cyclops hand.
Did he?
Yeah.
Why didn't I catch it? Admittedly, I love Re-Animator, but I've only seen Bride of Re-Animator. This is probably like my third time seeing it.
Really?
Well, now fourth.
Sacrilege. But all of a sudden, this doctor... this
it's just because I don't like it as much. I like it, but I don't like it as much. Because of the plot.
No, I hear you.
But
and I appreciate Re-Animator a lot more after watching this.
Good. As you should.
And that cat can't be beat. The cat scene in Re-Animator.
Against
I think they try with a dog in here.
Yeah.
But it's not even. It's like 10% of that cat scene.
I think people don't mind so much throwing a cat against the wall, but they don't like throwing a dog against the wall.
Oh, that's terrible. But yeah.
I think even if you took the biggest animal lover and said you can throw gun to the head, you have to throw one of these animals against the wall, the cat or the dog. People are going to pick the cat.
No, I don't think you understand animal lovers. They would rather die than even do that.
Okay, well,
I understand. Let's pass over that a second.
What are we going to get in trouble if I say my opinion?
You're crazy. The lieutenant.
Put them in my hand, and I'm throwing both against the wall. I got to do what I got to do. I'll put him between two slices of bread and eat the damn thing.
Lieutenant Chapman comes to the door because he's on the trail.
He's on the trail, and Herbert West
the two doctors.
and Dan Kane were the only two that came out of that massacre unscathed.
Right. Good point, Ted.
Well, except that Herbert West got dragged away by monster tentacles, but
that's a good
unscathed.
Point. Yeah.
And we don't really know his role in this yet, but we'll find that out pretty soon. But he's just. Yeah, he just knocks on. He just walks right in the house and he's like, "Excuse me, cop, warrant, back off."
No, I would say, no,
warrant. You don't let them in your house ever.
I love how Herbert West just tells him just right. He's just so blunt with everything. I love.
Oh yeah, he would if he'd answered the door, he'd have said warrant.
Right. As the lieutenant comes in and sits down and starts questioning him, first of all, he says, "What a place for you to be, doctors to be hanging out in."
Right. It's like what? It's very comfortable. It's very convenient.
Yes. Very convenient. Yeah, dead people outside. And
it seems like the medical book, pretty morbid reading, don't you? I don't find science morbid, and a doctor wouldn't.
Exactly. Look at what they got to do. But as they're doing that, Lester, the little finger and eye,
he's stuck with it.
He's walking around.
Yes.
Something smells good.
Is it that piece of chicken that was in the oven?
I wonder if that's it. It smells a little bit like it.
Chicken. It's pronounced chicken. Why is it pronounced chicken?
Let's just do chicken.
But not chemistry.
Because it's a chicken.
No, seriously, listen. What? Think of another word that does that.
Well, what came first, the chicken or
the egg?
You have
cheese, chicken,
cheddar,
but chemistry.
Chameleon.
Why isn't it chameleon or chemistry? Chemicals. Can someone explain this to me?
Yeah, I don't know.
Stupid. I mean,
the CH sound you're always taught that it's ease, cheese. No, come on, let me come. Ease, cheese.
Like the electric company.
Well, if I
weren't our heads supposed to get closer together though? Like in Philly trying to spit on each other.
Remember Family Guy when Peter Griffith did that?
Oh yeah, they've spoofed everything. I do remember. I forgot what word they used. Oh man.
Pushin. You thought something bad.
Pushy.
That's wrong.
Don't be pushy.
Okay, where we go? Man, we're talking.
Oh, well, that cop's talking. Little Lester, the finger guy, was walking around, and Dan's trying to, like, not inconspicuous at all, trying to get rid of it.
He knocks it on the couch right by the lieutenant.
Yeah, and he ends up, what does he drop a book?
Drops a book on it.
Smashes it. And evidently that book that's about that thick was heavy enough to completely
crush the hand and
crush the hell out of it. And basically, the lieutenant just, I'm keeping an eye on you guys, and, whenever he leaves. Like he's trying to shake him. He has no authority to be there whatsoever.
No authority!
He should be reported and suspended without pay.
He has no authority!
But we'll find out why he has such an interest in this case soon enough.
Oh.
So now we're back at Dr. Wilbur Graves' pathology lab.
Dr. Wilbur
where somehow he's got his hands on a bat.
Yeah.
I don't know why in a hospital you would have a filthy, stinking, disease-ridden bat.
And... well, he reagents it.
Yeah, it's a dead bat. He takes a little bit of that reagent. He's just trying to figure out what it is, injects a little bit of it into the dead bat, and it flies to life.
It flies up on his face, but evidently it didn't bite him.
Right, and he catches it, pins it down onto the table,
takes a scalpel,
and just horribly cuts its wings off.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Vicious.
It's like throwing a cat against a wall.
I feel worse for the bat.
But that,
I
do.
Because it was terrible.
And later,
because no one would throw a perfectly good bat against the wall.
Later on, those wings are going to come into.
Oh yes.
Yeah, with Dr. Hill, but if you've seen the movie, you know. But
it's like on the cover of the Blu-ray. So
I don't want to spoil it very much.
Well, don't spoil it.
I won't spoil it.
So Herbert, he's hanging out at the hospital. He goes down to the. I love how this hospital has its own incinerator.
It does. It has an incinerator.
And there's like a Jersey guy that works down in there.
The Jersey guy. Did you see the Jersey Boys?
Are you going to do that again?
Did you see the Jersey Boys?
No.
They played on Playhouse Square down here in the theater.
I don't go see.
They have fun with singing the boys. They go, let's just dance, run down runway, run away. That was so fun. Do you remember you got popcorn for me?
You get mad at me talking about throwing animals against the wall. You're making fun.
No, I'm doing a character.
Fun of them.
I'm doing it. Okay, now I blew it. That was such a great scene.
You're acting like that guy at the beginning of Something About Mary looking for his baseball.
Have you seen my
baseball? Have you seen my baseball? And everyone in the theater's laughing, and I was the only one sitting there going, "That's horrible." That's horrible. Like, everyone thought that movie was so funny, and I just sat there and I didn't laugh once.
I just like, what's her name? What's her name in there?
I wouldn't hit a dead dog in the ass with her.
Something about her. Something about me.
Yes, something about her.
But I do really enjoy when you got me popcorn for you're a nice guy.
Well, that's what I do, And
you're a nice guy.
Sometimes, there's like a Snickers bar in there.
Yeah, Snickers bar.
I tried to get it and just tug on it a few times and get that Snickers bar, but I couldn't get it.
And the girl, she go put a wrapper on the Snickers bar.
Snapchat thing would come back.
She go put a wrapper on before you tug on it, because and Ted told me, he said,
Mister, I can't get that Snickers bar out.
He said that's a rubber. He said that's a rubber, that's not wrapper.
A rubber, not a wrapper.
So you cover that up and melt. Okay, let's get back to the movie. I know.
Down in the incinerator.
Just do a whole show like that in character.
They tell the Jersey guy, the Guido he's like, yeah, Dr. Graves is looking for you upstairs. And Dana's got a wheelchair, and they take the body, and they put it on the wheelchair, and they're going to wheel this dead body out of the hospital.
We didn't pass that, did we?
No, it hasn't happened yet. That's what they're going to do.
Yeah.
But then when the guy, and then meanwhile, in the pathology lab...
Oh, yeah, we missed that.
He takes Carl
Hill's head
and injects some...
reagent in it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Boy,
Because he didn't put enough. Yeah.
And he's talking to him.
Yeah, you listen now, kid.
Guido comes up there. He's, oh man, look at that head. That's awesome.
Yeah, he's like, you know what? He's like, you give me a few bucks, I get rid of that for you.
He tries to get him to talk, and he won't talk to him.
Right. Dr. Hill is like, don't want nobody else to know, that he can speak.
Right.
Keeping it under wraps, And George Jefferson.
Come on, you talk.
Yeah,
you talk to that man.
You motherfucker.
God.
I brought you steak.
Have you seen the part where his foot's all wrapped up in gauze yet?
Dr. Graves?
Yeah. Do you remember that part where his foot's all wrapped up in gauze?
No.
Oh God, it'll come up.
Okay.
They don't really explain why, but.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but he's as soon as the Guido leaves, he goes, he gets out of here.
He's like Hill's telling him, man, I want West.
And he's telling him he wants him to help him. And he says, if you don't help me, I'll get somebody else. First of all, funniest thing in the movie. I mean, okay. Well, we've come to find out that there is a way he can get somebody else to help him, evidently.
Yes, it is a deleted plot line from the original Re-Animator.
Okay,
talk about
well, here's the scene where they're wheeling out the dead late girl.
Yep.
And
they got sunglasses on her. They got clothes on her.
The sunglasses flies off. Herbert,
he's like holding her by the hair.
Yeah. And the lieutenant's watching.
Yeah, he's just hanging out.
Wouldn't you walk over there right now and go, this looks like a dead lady. Can I feel her pulse or something?
Can I feel her pulse?
But anyways.
Oh, look who's back in town.
Francesca's here, and she's ready to get it on.
Somehow she
Dr.
escaped
Dan Kane
from the Peruvian concentration camp.
Look at him holding her head there with the
look at that.
If you're watching on YouTube,
Dad, I'm back in town.
Oh, baby.
They're gonna make a date.
She goes, Dr. Dan Kane. Oh, we have dinner I make you tonight for very good fun.
I mean, how Herbert West, man,
very much good fun.
Getting some putang is just like never on his mind.
No,
it's just it's back here somewhere, man.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
It's like it's boring.
Francesca, it's boring.
It's kind of how I feel now, man.
Boring.
After you've done it 8,000 times.
Okay, what's the deleted plot
scene? Well, I'll get to it when it happens.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about it.
I will, but
for
those of you who are big Re-Animator fans,
you don't want to talk
the first week of August, there's going to be a kick-ass Blu-ray complete edition
party.
Yeah, it's like a party in your mouth, and it's going to come with the unrated version, and then something called the integral version, which is like all the deleted scenes.
This is the unrated version.
Yeah, well, this is Bride of Re-Animator. I'm talking Re-Animator.
The
one. With all the deleted, everything's going to be everything you ever wanted.
Oh, gee.
Oh, look at this. This cop starts petting the dog. He wants to get in good with her because he saw Francesca talking to Dan. And
he goes, "Can I pet your dog?"
Yeah, I'm just going to pull out my badge here. I'm a cop.
Yeah, I need to...
What were you talking to him about?
I need to bring you in the room and interrogate you a little bit. Do you mind answering a few questions for me, Francesca?
That's right.
And then he gets her up to the room and he asks her to disrobe.
Even when they said Francesca, I'm just like, what kind of name is that for someone from Peru? But, she wants to meet Dan for dinner, so he invites her over. As long as you like Italian, I hope you like garlic. Like, yeah, sure. Load up.
He's like, whatever. I know that we're going to get this on later.
It's like, okay, well, it's going to be doggy style.
Oh, here's where we come to. This is an important part because
in the hospital.
Yeah, in the hospital.
He takes her in the hospital and takes.
It's almost like Dawn of the Deadish. You got some zombie-looking characters here.
Psych ward. Well, like I said, the original Herbert West Re-Animator. I think unless someone out there knows an older version of when the dead come back to life and start. In the story, they kill and eat the living. That's the zombies, man.
Yeah.
Thank Lovecraft for it.
Yeah.
All you zombie lovers, Walking Dead.
What year was it?
1921.
Okay.
I mean, it was serialized in over like a year,
right.
6 months. So.
I wonder if it.
And actually, he considered it one of his worst stories, and a lot of Lovecraft scholars consider it lesser Lovecraft. It's not one of his grand old gods.
Grand
stories.
old operas.
It was, it was a quick story for him. He got paid $5 a chapter.
Wow.
6 chapters. He got $30 for that story.
Unbelievable.
And there you go. Look at all the movies and. Well, I mean, you got, that's how you got paid back then when you were a pulp writer. Robert E. Howard, Lovecraft, Edgar Rice Burroughs, all my favorites. That's how they got paid back then.
Gotta get paid.
But they had such talent. They churned out so much.
Yes.
While those pulp magazines are going.
But what they did was they churned them like butter. It's like butter, baby.
It's like butter, man. Some of those books are like butter. Good like butter.
Yeah. So there's... He takes her in this room.
With these psychos.
The lieutenant goes, okay,
these are leftovers of Re-Animator.
Yes.
Ones that survived. These are the reanimated dead.
And they're just sitting in the room. They're still alive.
Of course, none of these characters were actually in the first movie.
And don't ask me... Right. And here's his wife. And they're all disturbing looking. Okay?
Oh, yeah. Very good makeup. Look at that. God, when she comes
That's the lieutenant's wife there.
Right. This is why he's
Francesca,
so interested in the case.
That's why he's so interested. Yeah. His wife is there. And he brings Francesca in the room, too. And she starts to get attacked by these three things. And
he tries to say, she's not usually like that. What, is she kind and gentle to animals?
Well, evidently she's got some capability of thinking a little bit. Look
at her eyeballing him through the window, too.
Yeah, she's like,
just staring at him.
She's like, what?
What's my man hanging with this young bitch for?
Yeah. And when he ripped and pulled her away, you can see a little bit of, belly there, just a tiny bit.
Just a little bit of belly?
And a little later on, they said, I was a little disappointed with the Dan and Francesca love scene in here.
Well, because it's not Barbara Crampton, man. She was only going to have a cameo, and her agent suggested
cameo.
She not do that because it was, not a big enough part.
Oh, down for y'all. You remember cameo?
Cameo. I don't listen.
Oh, down for y'all.
Listen to straight music.
You got to feel the music. I'm cameo.
The music has guitars, drums, and death. But
if you watched MTV,
but I usually turned it. Like I didn't waste my life watching videos that I didn't like.
I didn't either. But you come across and you go, "Oh my God, that's cameo again." That's down for y'all.
The only time I watched videos I didn't like is when I was watching Beavis and Butthead.
That was like
I was actually watching that because like on the Roku on MTV, you can watch at least the last season.
Yeah.
When they tried to bring it back and the kids just didn't get it, so they stopped doing it.
Yeah.
My son happened to walk by and he said a cuss word. I'm like, yes, son, they say it. Now look at this. Okay. Back to the movie.
Right.
They got practically a whole body put together here.
Yes.
And they're starting to run blood through the vessels. Little snafu there, some blood squirts out. But, my God. They've got a torso. Boy, there you go.
They got a yawn going there.
And I'm the one that worked 12 hours.
It's been a long day.
Oh, I bet it has.
Listen there, you know. Anyways.
Dragging kids to baseball games is not fun.
But, little snafu, and he clips it, and he goes, oh!
Look, there's the boobs. It's got boobs and a heart.
But this is the whole Frankenstein type storyline where you got this body being put together.
This is how I envision it practically,
Yeah. He's got parts hanging from the ceiling, you know what I mean? But in this part, and actually somebody rings the doorbell and the light goes off.
It's going to be Francesca.
Typical,
He forgot, it's like, 45 minutes later, and he forgot she was coming.
Yeah, he's getting some.
Right.
But yet he's
I got the garlic and the olive oil. I brought my stupid dog. And
don't you like how they always bring a big bag of stuff, and there's always like a 4-foot loaf of bread. It's like, who the hell is going to even eat 1% of that?
I mean, yeah, look at Danny's got blood. You would have been great if the dog started licking his shoes.
Yeah.
That's what I kept waiting for.
He could have pretended.
Look at this small ass bottle of wine. Like, this ain't.
She goes, it's an 87 whatever.
Oh, what a great vintage!
But,
you went all out.
It's the same year as the movie. The movie's 89, but she says 87.
It's even got a straw bottom to it.
I know. Like back in the day, as cheap as you can be.
You can pretend we're in Italy.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's the lieutenant, man. He's. What's he eating? A ho-ho?
He's eating a big burger.
And he's just going to sit outside the house and watch.
Triple Whopper. And look at this sauce.
It's ragu, man. It's in there. It's in there.
She goes, this is some...
Why does someone always have to do that?
This is
Taste the sauce.
It's in there.
It's in there.
Well, you gotta taste it. Because you do gotta taste the sauce.
Not if you open the jar and just...
No, if you're making it, though, and you gotta add a little sugar, a little bit more
is that what you do? You always
basil.
make your own sauce?
Oh, yeah.
You stomp your own tomatoes and...
There's one thing I do very well is make a good sauce for my spaghetti.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look, and their breaths probably stink. They're kissing in the kitchen.
Yeah, the garlic.
And now they're kissing after dinner.
And look at that,
Side boob.
This is what I'm doing. Not barely.
Now,
this is what I'm disappointed with. But anyways,
he's downstairs and he looks up, and he can hear the love making.
Yeah, he's like, God.
And this is like him just being fine. You're gonna be up there screwing, while I'm just gonna screw around down here.
Yeah.
And yeah, he just starts sticking like legs and hands together and reanimating them.
Yeah, well,
just for the fun of it.
He's working on stuff, and he's dripping stuff on parts of
this is him
lower
going
leg.
a little bit over the edge. You know, he's not
right.
I mean, yes, he's creating new life. But...
Well, we find out he does this a lot.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, well,
because that scene, that little the brick
at the end
hole in the wall.
That's a little shout out to the original story as well, which I'll talk about when the time comes. Look at him tickling the feet.
Yeah,
maybe he's a footman.
He could be foot fetish, and he.
Hey, I like to have my toes sucked.
Oh God!
My wife's just not down.
He goes to walk out.
I guess that would be one good thing to have a dog for.
Oh God!
Like if you just smeared some Alpo on your foot and just
some Alpo.
And just
oh my Lord!
See if anyone comments on that. See if they got this far.
Ain't no way I'm letting a dog lick my foot.
What if no one was at home?
Why would I want someone to lick my foot?
Because it feels good.
How's it feel good?
It feels good.
Okay, I guess.
I mean,
if you say so.
What if you put some peanut butter all over your feet and just said, Daisy, come here.
Oh, God.
And just let that dog start licking the hell out of your foot.
Okay, we're done.
No, I mean, you're sitting there, you're watching the game on TV.
He's wasting so much reagent.
Well, evidently
he sticks the metal, and I don't know, how's the metal wire help?
Well, because it keeps them together.
But it needs to be flexible.
Look, it kicks him in the face.
He sticks an end of a foot, or a leg from the knee down, to an arm from the elbow down, and
creates new life.
Yes.
Look at it, it's all wiggling around.
Because he knows that it's but the body part.
He just throws it in a linen hamper like I have at work.
Yeah, pushes it.
Puts it in a hefty.
Stuffs it down, and he's going to put that in the. Should I just say? Yeah, in the hole in the wall.
The hole in the wall.
Yeah, he throws it in the hole in the wall.
And they even make a little comment. I don't know if if it did it earlier or whatever. That someone when there's a noise behind the wall, they say it must be rats. Yes, rats behind the wall.
No. He says it must be rats in the wall.
Rats in the wall.
And I'm like going...
That's the name of a Lovecraft story, one of his famous stories, Rats in the Wall.
Maybe that's why they said it,
That's why they said it.
Because bricks, look, you barely get a nipple shot here.
That's a nipple shot.
That's a flat one. Flat, round areola.
Well, I'm not crazy about Francesca anyway.
Oh.
I wanted Barbara Crampton.
See, like right here, he's got
I like Gloria better than
he's got a handful.
Francesca.
And the director said, just keep it over there to cover the nipple. And but yeah, when he says the rat's in the wall, I'm like, it can't be in the wall. It's just a brick wall.
It's a shout out to the Lovecraft.
Okay, so there you go. I didn't know that.
Sense.
Now it makes sense. Back to the story.
Now the movie.
But
West. Look at West. He comes back up in the living room, and the cop has just broken into his home.
Yes.
Here's where I would call the police.
Isn't he sitting on the couch?
Yeah. That's license to open fire.
License to kill.
License to kill.
Yeah, James.
See how much I love cops. Right?
Power out. Yeah.
And I do like how you have the unrated version because you can see the little degradation of quality.
You see the degradation?
Yes. But that's okay, man.
Degradation.
I don't know.
That's my favorite punk band of all time.
Degradation? Mine's a Misfits. Or Ramones.
Yeah. Have you ever dug deep into the... Did I give you all those old punk albums and stuff?
You give me all the 80s stuff. I still have some to go, but I listen to a lot of it.
Any stand out to you? Or just...
Nine Circles.
Can't even think of... Nine Circles?
Nine Circles, especially the song Twinkling Star. It's so great. My life wouldn't have...
Really?
It's good without it.
Seriously?
Yeah, I love it.
Nine Circles. Okay.
Yeah, you have it on there.
I'm gonna.
It's very
Twinkling Star. There, I'm
It's
putting
like
it
one
down.
of the first or second tracks on there.
I'm jotting it down, people.
But it's very minimalistic.
Yeah.
And I think I told you that before. I really like the, as far as like the electronic 80s, I like the really stuff that's like really minimalistic. Just, like a keyboard and a drum machine, and what can you do with that?
Minimalistic.
That's pretty much what they do.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, and there was like a whole subsection of that in there.
Just
I think that's where I found it.
Okay, cool.
Yep. And, and I kept a lot of songs here and there, but that whole album I kept.
Awesome.
So,
awesome. I might have to look for that.
Yeah, I really liked it.
Minimal synth.
Yeah, check that tune out, and if you like that, you'll like the rest.
I'm writing down so I can remember later, people.
I can even
because I love that all.
I got it here on my phone.
Seriously?
Yeah, I'll play it for you when we're done.
So it's that good? Okay, cool.
Oh, look at this. He takes him downstairs.
Yes, the lieutenant.
And we know what's going to happen. He sees all these body parts laying here, and
laying there.
Just pretty much convinces him of what he thought.
Frankenstein.
This is sick. What is this?
It's my laboratory.
But this is kind of, mirrors the scene when Professor Hill is down in the basement in the original Re-Animator, and they have that fight. And here, the lieutenant and Herbert are going to have a fight. Well, he gets attacked, man. Because he mentions, this is part of my experiment. He says, was my wife an experiment?
Right.
And then he throws out there, your wife suffered, several head contusions by a blunt object. Implying that he's a wife beater. It wasn't my fault! And there he goes. He finds a blunt object and starts trying to beat Herbert with it.
And what does Herbert do? Herbert grabs into that thing which is
good thing he had some handy.
Yeah, because it's still smoking in there and stuff like that, and he puts it up to his face, gives him a heart attack, and kills him.
That's right.
But
Dan comes down there after a night of lovemaking because he hears the ruckus.
Yeah, how long do you think that was? Maybe 30 minutes?
Well, if it's anything like me, about 8. Then we get on to better things, or you roll over and go to sleep.
Might have been a couple hours. I don't know.
It's a waste of time.
You think they ate food?
Yeah, they probably stink like garlic, right?
Because after
I hope you like garlic.
Oh, I ain't gonna say it.
What? I hate garlic. My wife loves garlic, man. It's
because if they ate first and then afterwards.
Oh yeah.
Oh, your semen tastes like garlic.
Oh God.
Oh, it went through your whole system, no?
Mm-hmm. I used to have a chick tell me that pineapple juice made it taste good.
Really?
Yeah, so anytime I knew I was going to see her, I was, I chugged down some pineapple juice.
Oh, Lord.
And pray to God I got my knob slobbed.
A big pineapple head?
Oh, yeah, I'd eat the whole thing.
Pineapple head?
The whole thing, the green thing on it.
Pineapple.
Yeah.
And it's hard to chew into that.
Oh, I didn't even cut it open. I ate right through the thorns and... I mean, if you know you're going to, get your knob slobbed, you do what you got to do.
Yeah, pineapple's hard. And, so yeah, back to the movie. Yeah, you don't like that accent, do you?
No, I can't stand it.
Goatee's good.
But yeah, Herbert, he tells Dan, he attacked me, which is true.
Right.
I don't think Dan believes him.
No.
But it is true. And he injects the reagent, this time not in the back of the spine like he usually did, but into the heart.
Yeah.
And he comes back. And
maybe to, test out, I don't know.
I don't know. But, I mean, when he comes back, he is a little bit more normal than some of the others he's brought back. But he's still a lunatic. Because
what does he figure out?
He's super strong. Oh! And he and Dan are struggling, and Dan's got the cop's gun.
He's got Herbert brings out a machete.
His mother's lucky machete.
Yeah, machete.
Isn't it great in all these movies? Someone's got a machete.
Yes, you love it.
I gotta get one. I gotta go up to the hardware store.
But he chops off his arm, well, part of it.
Yeah.
And he screams. So evidently they still feel pain.
Let me chop your arm off with a machete. I guess you feel pain.
Well, they're dead and they're reanimated. So evidently the reagent activates the nerves to where they feel the pain too.
I guess so.
And all that.
Look at it, and the lieutenant locks them in the lab.
Yeah.
And Dan's beating on a door. Herbert's ripping the bricks out of the wall. He's getting out that way. And Francesca, she's upstairs in the Miskatonic sweatshirt. We always have to wear,
which is way too long.
You love when a chick wears your shirt. It was kind of cool. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And he just passes out on the couch like my grandpa used to. This was my grandpa every Saturday night. or after a big meal.
Yeah, the lieutenant just passes out, and Francesca goes up to him.
Usually be a little...
Oh, jeez.
Here comes the dog.
He let him loose.
The dog's barking at the lieutenant. The lieutenant grabs the
Here's
dog.
the scene.
And we throw it. Oh, God. He's whipping it around by the leg.
Because he's got one arm. And he
can't rip the leg off the dog.
He threw the dog at the wall and held onto the leg.
He's got the leg in his hand.
Doesn't he start eating it?
Probably.
I think he puts it in his mouth.
Is he even letting Dan, helping Dan get away? Herbert's in the catacombs.
A lot's going on right now, okay? Francesca's on the ground. Lieutenant just killed her dog, okay?
He destroyed that dog.
Dan's still stuck in the basement area.
Dan gets out. He gets the door open. Busts it open.
The lieutenant does.
He takes it, puts it in his mouth like it's a big chicken leg, and walks out of the
that's
house.
what he did. But Herbert West is still...
he got out.
He's in the mausoleum.
Yeah, he got out that way.
Yeah. And Francesca's...
Interesting.
Yeah. So Herbert West actually chases
He's packing heat.
He's packing heat. And he sees that the dog's dead.
That's right. Maybe we should reanimate it.
Yeah. Well, of course.
We've got time.
Leave it alone. What do you do?
After everything that's just happened, he still stops and says, hey, I might be able to use that.
Yes.
He's like, I'll bury it for you.
And he's going to take and put a human hand
It's so awesome. It's so awesome when you see it.
It's like, are you kidding me?
Look at these guys stumbling through the graveyard. And I can't recommend to y'all enough if you're sticking with us through this to actually
sticking with us. Always stick with us.
You can find, I think, all of Lovecraft's stuff for free to read online.
And the Lovecraft.
I have some really nice
and the Lovecraft, baby.
But I've got everything he's ever written, and it's fantastic.
You're a Lovecraft entrepreneur.
Well, I'm a Lovecraft fan, man. I recognize where a lot of this shit came from.
Entrepreneur is not the word I should be using. You're a Lovecraft connoisseur.
Lovecraft, baby.
It's just like, whatever.
Lovecraft.
Again, a Lovecraft.
Why didn't Weird Al do that song?
What?
Why didn't Weird Al do that song?
I don't know.
Lovecraft. Lovecraft.
Sitting in the Lovecraft.
Don't forget to bring your Hulu money.
Oh my God. Francesca, the stupid biatch, walks down into the basement.
Yeah, let me go investigate what's going on down here.
Yes.
I gotta get me a Miskatonic U sweatshirt.
A Miskatonic U.
Hell, and just for you Batman fans that love Arkham Asylum, guess who invented that word?
Yeah.
That was Lovecraft. That's where the town in New England where many of the stories take place, in Arkham.
There you go.
So there you
go. A
go.
little bit of info from Ted.
Arkham Asylum.
Never know what you're going to get. Never know what you're going to get.
Oh, look. She tries to open the door. What do you say? Something like, your welcome in this house, it does not extend to this room.
No.
Now get out. And he's brought the damn dog back already. Look, it's growling at him.
Yes, and it's got the hand
she
on
goes
her.
to pet it. It looks like it's going to shake her hand.
Yeah, it's like, whoa.
Does she even... No, man. Oh, look, the hand's got a ring on it and everything.
It was married.
I guess.
It was married.
And then, she grabs Dan. And like, is this what you did to Meg? I hate you! Like, that fiery Italian. I hate you!
Ted's Italian.
Bad on there. No, I don't think I am.
Geez.
I don't think I have any Italian in me.
No, I mean your accent. But yeah, it was Francesca.
Thank God. Like no Polish and no Italian. Thank Christ.
Yeah, I got Italian in me, man.
You do?
Yeah.
Well, your middle name, man.
My grandpa's Sicilian. My grandpa's a Sicilian. What you say? What you know? Cupacha. My grandma would say that all the time. She'd say, Cupacha, Cupacha.
Capicha.
She don't say, Gumastadu. And to tell us to shut the hell up.
Shut the hell up. One of my favorite lines in the movie.
Oh, tell me.
Was after Francesca, I hate you, and leaves. Herbert just goes, well, you're better off without her.
Oh, thank God you remembered that. Because I was thinking about that
I'm like,
in the movie.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Well, you're better off without her.
Yes.
That makes him feel so much better. Like, I remember, when a girl broke up with me in high school. I swear to God, it's a true story.
Yeah.
It was 10th grade, a girlfriend I had for a few months. She broke up with me. And my mom, in her way to comfort me, she's like, well, she probably found somebody else. I swear to God, that's what she said to me.
Oh, no.
She probably found somebody else. So
way to make you feel good. So did you go to your room and start crying?
Well, no, not really.
No.
It didn't last long enough for me to give that much of a toss about it, but...
Tad?
But, then the next one you gotta go out with, so that you can dump her.
So now you think, yeah.
I'm gonna dump this bitch.
Because she'll only find someone else anyways because you're
right.
pounded in.
Oh, no. They go in to see Gloria and she starts flatlining.
Yeah.
There's Dan. He's talking to her, doesn't even recognize that she's flatlining.
No.
Oh, man, she's got a rack. She was in a movie, I forgot what it's called, Fraternity, Sorority, whatever. Her and Barbara Crampton.
Really?
Getting a little naked and having
Sorority.
look it up on IMDb. Someone will
okay.
say what it is. Oh, look, they cover up the boobs. But he's shocking her. She's not coming. He's like, push lidocaine, which you would give her some lidocaine.
Yeah.
And this I've never seen in all my years in the medical field. Where Herbert's like, all right, we're going in. And he just cuts the chest open.
Within a minute. You would be trying
There's a bone saw right there on the crash cart. And Herbert's in there just...
That's what they do immediately.
A surgical clamp is right there. Blood squirts all over Dan's face. Herbert's got his hands in there, getting his hands fucking dirty. And
the funny part of this
no
is
gloves.
That this is what they do immediately. Whereas you would try the machine, the CPR.
Dude,
at least
I've done
for 15
CPR on
minutes.
people for like half an hour trying to get back. No, 6 seconds. Okay, we're going in.
We're going in. Open the chest cavity.
Yikes.
Bring the, what are they called? The forceps and open the chest. Oh, yeah.
And, and she's still flatlining, so Herbert, looks
Dan's
and
so
says,
sad.
I'm calling it. And there's Dan. No!
Yeah, because
he cares so much.
He did care for this.
Well, it's patient. Like he was telling her before this happened. I'm, you're kind of like Meg to me.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying. He's just projecting his feelings for his old fiancée.
I don't know why he didn't like Francesca better. Francesca was way better than.
No, I'd take this girl. Man.
Really?
When she's all cleaned up, not
oh, you know
so
what?
much in this movie, but
okay,
you go watch that movie I'm talking about.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll have to see that one.
Yeah. Look up her credits.
Well, I like how the nurse is looking in the window at them after all of that.
You think she wonders how
or the receptionist or whatever.
Dan and Herbert are like such good friends.
She probably thinks they're lovers.
Who knows?
Oh, and this is where we get to Dr. Graves.
Oh man, he's having a shot of Jack or whatever that is.
Yeah, in the one of the glass vials.
Beaker.
Did I ever tell you about?
Probably had reagent.
I probably have, but for the people watching or listening right now, because we got a scene here and like kind of it's a medical lab, where they do stuff, and it's not an autopsy room. But anyways, my grandfather used to work in an autopsy, where they would do the cadavers would come in, and he would take pieces and parts of the bodies that needed to go in the vial. You know what I mean? No, in the liquid, whatever they put in it, formaldehyde and stuff like that. And he would do that. And he would tell me every now and then he would be sitting there and, doing the paperwork and a fresh body would come in and stuff. He goes, and the body would just sit straight up.
Yeah, the rigor mortis, yeah.
Yeah, he goes, it would just scare the living daylights out of him.
Yeah, I guess even if you're used to it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it didn't happen very often, but every now and then, of course, you'd get an arm that would move a little bit or a finger twitch. So, but every now and then you would get a body fully sit up.
Huh.
And he said that...
Yeah, I guess no matter how many times you see it.
Scare the living shit out of you.
Because you're probably working at night. And,
needless to say, that didn't last very long, that job. He said it was a very... you can just imagine,
Yeah, you probably see a lot of bad things.
But
I guess we got to catch up here. Because actually there's one part I want to talk about.
We got to catch up in Mothton.
Dr. Graves is, Dr. Hill's head is taunting him a little and telling him, you better do what I say or I'm going to get someone else to do it.
Yeah.
He tries to shut him up. Hill's head bites him. I think he even crams an apple in his mouth.
Yeah.
And then Dr. Hill kind of, looks up and, ding! And we find that Dr. Hill's head has some kind of psychic power to contact all the other reanimated dead. That is a subplot that was
That's what I was
out
this
of
is what I
the
was
theatrical version of the original Re-Animator.
Okay.
Now this new Blu-ray that's coming out, I think first week of August, end of July, is going to have also a version called the Integral version, which had a lot of this stuff put back in. And you'll see that subplot in there. Okay. And so now that'll kind of make sense. Because there's even a part in the movie where that would explain some stuff. Okay. So that's what that's from. And I like how Dr. Graves just rolls his head up in a towel and throws it in the garbage.
Yeah.
But not before we see all the other zombies, reanimated dead, kind of getting the signal. And now we're going to converge to where Dr. Hill is.
Yeah, I was wondering about that in here. Like, why? I mean, and even now, it's like, mentally they can connect with each other. It's a
story element left over from the first film.
Yeah. Which is actually kind of stupid, if you ask me.
Well, that's, it didn't really fit, so they cut it out. Yeah. But then they brought it back. It's not the same director, but they brought it back for this, and, there it is. Yeah. Whatever.
And then Dr.
It's a convenient plot device to get all the reanimated dead.
Yeah, I know. You got to figure out some way.
Yep.
And Francesca comes back to the hospital and goes...
Just to give him back his sweater.
Dr. Dane Kane here. This is his sweater that I had filthy sex on, and it's sweaty.
We made love on it.
Please give it back to him. So...
the nurse tells him, he went home, he lost a patient, he cares so much. And she's like, he's a good guy. Even though I told him, I hated him before. So, Dan goes home. I
love him.
And,
I really, really...
So now the body's pretty much put together. Oh, no, we got to say that he sends Dan home.
What's with the sheer... I guess it's sheer gauze that he keeps laying over the tissues and stuff. Well, but anyway, go ahead. Yeah, what?
He sends Dan home.
Sends.
And he said, go home. You've had too much. Go home. After Gloria dies.
To drink?
No, after Gloria dies. Oh. And so Herbert, like when you said he closes the blinds on that nurse who's looking in there.
Yeah.
That's because he wants that head. He wants the head from
Is this Gloria? Because the nipples are awful hard.
No, that's not her torso.
Okay.
He just takes her head. And he puts something in place of it. And
Gloria.
He gets that Guido from the incinerator room to help him load the body. Yeah. And actually, the cart that they load the body in, that's not exactly what we have at the hospital, but we have something like that, where if a patient dies...
And you could put it inside?
It's the one that we have is you lay them on the gurney, and it's a covering that goes over it, and you put a sheet over it, and it looks like a cart that you would be pushing a patient on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So... A shout out to real hospitals.
Yeah, I think hospitals just have something like that. Because you may pass another patient's room and you don't want like a body bag going by another patient.
No, I know.
We gotta talk about this part
perfect
for a second.
Scene.
So when Herbert gets home, he wants to show Dan, like the whole body is pretty much put together and ready to go. Yeah. He's like, a ballerina's feet, the legs of a whore. Think of the bodies these legs have wrapped around. The womb of a virgin. Never got to know the carnal pleasures.
Oh, shit.
The arm of a waitress, arm of a...
Serving me.
Or what does he say? The hand of a murderess. And that scene is so awesome where he takes his fingers and pulls it to a fist.
Yeah.
And, God, it gives me the willies.
Yeah, that's a very cool practical effect in the scene. Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah. And I love that.
Meg's heart and Gloria's head. That's the last thing he gets to see.
And
this is for you. This is
the best part is the toppers.
Yeah, who knows where those came from?
I mean, I'm sure they're cold in there, and I'm sure they're not real at the moment.
And here's where he's getting a little bit like Frankenstein here. This is mine. We've created life.
He's got that. He's kind of hunched down, back over the body, and Dan's kind of like in the Hammer Frankenstein.
Boy, too bad they weren't making
the other guy that would be like. You're crazy. This is ridiculous. I forget his name,
one.
But
it doesn't matter. There's always one.
Yeah.
Boy, too bad they weren't making the Universal monster movies then. Wouldn't these guys be great in a Frankenstein movie?
Don't even get me started.
Why, did you go see The Mummy?
No, just I mean, just like that scene right there you just saw, where the body was. I mean, think about I mean. Will I see?
That's what I want.
I think out of all of them, when Bride of Frankenstein comes out, which is the next one, evidently. unless the trailer looks so bad.
There's his foot wrapped up in gauze. Which we don't know what. I'm thinking he has gout, but, you know.
What the hell?
I don't know. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
That's out of nowhere.
A little bit. Oh, look, the head is out of the
and the
garbage
head's out
can,
of trash. And the
apple
apple
gets
flew.
spit it out, and here is the cop's body. You know,
Yeah, I was just saying, Bride of
cop.
Frankenstein was probably... I'm looking a little bit forward. But not that I'm looking...
Just
I'm not looking for... In theory.
You haven't seen a minute of it.
No,
so.
in theory. It's like you would... But like I was saying, the scene you saw here in Bride of Re-Animator...
That's what we're talking about.
Where her body was just laying there and the camera was showing straight on and them both on each side of her. I mean, that's an iconic scene, even for a movie like this.
Right.
And it's like, they can't do that now. That's what pisses me off.
Oh, it's like they can, but they...
Like the Mummy, though.
Mm-hmm.
All they do for the Mummy is it's a human body, a woman.
I know.
Why couldn't you make a creature feature, a real mummy that's actually...
The closest thing we got was when they did that remake of The Wolfman, 7 years ago.
I know.
And even though I didn't love it,
right.
I appreciated the hell out of the effects and everything.
Yes, right.
It wasn't horrible, but it at least was going in the right direction.
You mean the one with Benicio del Toro?
At least it went in the right direction. You know, like, okay, we're going to do Gothic.
Right.
You know, that's what these...
No,
I'm not even... Like I've said it 100 times in this show, horror is not my favorite genre.
Right.
But when I do I love...
The unrated scene.
The Universal. I love the Hammers.
Yeah.
I love, the Vincent Price, Edgar Allan Poe movies. So I think you can kind of tell where I'm coming from. I like those Gothic horror films. I like Castles.
You're a goth, man.
I like Mist.
You're a goth.
I like Tortured Souls.
Ted didn't put on his dark eyeliner today.
But I don't, that's what I like. I like the drawn out, the walks through the clap of the feet in the castles, and the creepy monsters or creatures that might be lurking in that mist. But that's what I like. That's what I grew up with, and for some reason it's still
same here.
Haunts my mind.
Yeah, same here.
I have a little monster movies
Yeah.
aside, but that's pretty much what I like.
Right. No, I hear you.
And I know you weren't the biggest Hammer fan, but I think I could get you.
We'll keep working at them with the films and
I think the next one we'll do is Twins of Evil if we do a Hammer.
Okay.
I think you'll like that.
Okay.
That was a fun one.
Sounds good.
Or any of the Frankenstein ones are good. I mean, you liked that one.
Yeah.
And the whole series is
no, right. Yeah, you
fantastic.
told me. Yeah, definitely.
So,
you never know which ones you'll like.
Honestly, the reason I probably got into them in the first place is because I saw Peter Cushing and I remembered him from Star Wars. I'm like, oh, it's a guy from Star Wars. What's this all about?
Yeah.
And bam, they hooked me.
Is it funny that how it just gets you?
Yeah.
They catch up though a little bit here in the film.
Yeah, what's going on here?
Well, Lieutenant went and got Dr. Carl Hill's
because he contacted
head, and while he did that, you could see him put an incision on each side of his head.
Right.
Which, what's going to go there.
Oh, yeah.
Should I say?
Bat wings!
The bat wings from that bat that were sliced off are going to go in there.
It's so
evidently positioned so
now he can be mobile. He doesn't need a body to carry him
right,
around.
it's so perfect that he can fly around with his head. It's so good.
Yeah, if you got the new Blu-ray that came out.
Blu-ray?
Well, yeah, it came maybe a year ago.
Oh.
And it's got that on the cover, so it's a little spoiler there. But, genre fans, they know.
Yeah.
But, shitballs, what was I going to say? I can't recall. But, in the original story, there's a body that there is a Hill character.
Yeah.
But the story actually takes place over a longer period of time.
He
walks around and he's got a wax head. There's no head on the body. It's just a wax dummy head.
Really? In the story, then?
Yeah, in the story.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But
no head.
No head.
So in the movie,
in this movie where the head gets mailed to them in a box, that happens in the story, but they burn it instead of opening it stupidly. But they're trying to bring the creation, the bride, to life. They've injected some reagent
into her heart.
And it's taking a while.
And the point of injecting it into the heart, which we didn't get to with even the lieutenant,
right.
is that it will disperse evenly through every part of the body.
Right. Good
connecting
point.
it.
Good point.
Connecting it together. Which is his thought.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So
it's going to take a while.
Yeah.
Because nothing's happening for
a while. And he's like 54 seconds. And I swear to God, 10 seconds later he goes, 3 minutes and 48 seconds. And I'm like going, hey, wait a second. No, it's just, I think it was the same scene. But maybe not.
The camera didn't even move away.
Yeah. I'm like, whoa, wait, what? Did I just fall asleep back in here? But,
I'm telling you, I think Dan Cain, this character, this actor, Bruce Abbott, would have made a great
Superman?
Like a good Dr. Frankenstein in a movie. I think he's got that look.
I think you're in love with Dan.
You know what? I like his character a lot. Always have.
Okay.
Because how easy is it? He's like following Manson. He's like a Manson follower.
Really?
Oh yeah, there's the knock at the door while they're working on the bride, and there's the box. This is a little shout out to the original story.
The fact that he even went up, though.
I know, it takes it in the house.
Herbert was but they injected the body down there, and you think he wouldn't leave it until he knew if it reanimates or not.
Well, maybe he was afraid it was that cop.
Unless they do like Young
Frankenstein.
Out there loose. Young Frankenstein, where they're up at the table and they hear downstairs. Oh, Ted! Oh my God!
That's sacrilege! I know.
Sacrilege!
I just looked at an article not too long ago where Hollywood people picked their favorite 100 movies, and it's a very different list than the American Film Institute or critic circles or whatever.
Yeah.
And that was certainly on the list. And every time I see it, I just shake my head and go, I don't know.
I don't get it.
I don't know how people find that.
It's so funny how me and you, we do have some very different.
Yes, we do.
Not to say we don't agree on a lot.
No.
Some movies
we like a lot of things the same way, and there's some things you like that I don't like, some things I like.
Yeah, so we shock each other sometimes with what you love and I go, and I hate, and then vice versa.
And I recognize that it's humorous.
No, I know.
But I just watch it and go, it's just stupid funny. It's just stupid.
I love it.
Mel Brooks movies are just never, I remember even my father-in-law wanted to rent Blazing Saddles and watch it, because I'd said I'd never seen it. And there were a couple parts that funny, and I like Gene Wilder, and it's just but I watch it, it's not that
Gene Wilder's awesome. Stir Crazy? With Richard Pryor?
Well, that's not Mel Brooks.
No, I know. But did you see that?
That's funnier.
But I'm saying that because Gene Wilder.
But
he's
almost everything I remember in that movie.
We're going off why there's a wild, great.
Almost everything I remember in that movie is Richard Pryor. Because Richard Pryor is one of my favorite comedians. And I've got albums and albums.
Yeah, I love him too, but Gene Wilder. Anyway, let's get back.
I miss Richard Pryor far more than Gene Wilder. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
The world is a much lonelier place without Richard Pryor.
Well, I'd say both of them, but Gene Wilder too.
I only own one movie with him in it, and it's Willy Wonka.
Jeez, you're missing out so many good movies.
I've seen lots of them, just they're dumb.
Okay. Let's, because this is winding up. We're getting towards the end of the movie there.
So they take that box in the house.
And it's...
I don't think... Did they open it yet?
Yeah.
Did they open it? And Dr. Hill's head with the bat wings.
Yeah.
West, you bastard.
Comes flying out of there.
Every time I do that, I have to cough and take a drink.
I know, yeah. It gets your throat. But meanwhile, and what's that big tube leading up to the table there? Evidently it has something to do with the smoke. Did you see that big tube?
You need that smoke.
Did you see that big tube underneath the table? I wonder if that was used to actually get the smoke up there for them.
We're not supposed to see that.
Okay, but anyway,
there's a whole lot of shaking going on outside.
Francesca's out there.
Yep.
The 3 reanimated bodies are out there just walking around like Night of the Living Dead.
Right, and the lieutenant's out there.
Yeah. And inside the house.
He's the one that put the crate up on the thing and knocked.
Yes. So what happens is, what's the body's name? Gloria.
Gloria? Yeah, I love how he's
reanimates.
And Dan is the one, he's just standing over just watching. Excuse me. And, she starts to come to life, but she's not really breathing. And he starts giving her breaths, which, unless someone's not breathing, you wouldn't do that. But she comes to life.
I know.
And she, immediately imprints on him, she
remembers
him.
Yes.
With her mind of Gloria and her heart of Meg. And she wants him.
And the thing, they couldn't do a better job at putting the body parts together.
Oh,
like there's metal clamps on kind of the chest and some chastity belt.
You have to wait for that all to heal. And then,
maybe. Okay.
Even the hammer one, that was the idea. The scars will heal up. We'll fix this all up.
Okay. Well, I'll go with that then. Yeah, because I look at all the
tissue has to. It has to be alive to
There's
heal.
a lot of exposed muscle.
Well, right. So she's in probably a lot of pain.
Yeah.
But I love the scene when she comes to life, and it just...
And it's a throwback to Bride of Frankenstein, too.
Sure is. Her movements.
And there is a scene where she actually turns her head, and you see it sideways to where she, gets that, that look. So, yeah, it's cool, totally a throwback
especially
to Bride of
if
Frankenstein.
you're, an old Uni fan like we are at Universal. It's kind of cool to see... someone paying it a little love. I mean, going completely over the top with the effects and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But, look at it. He even kneels down in front of her. And it's such a cool scene. This is what I envision Bride of Frankenstein being.
Yes. If they would put money into
something like this.
Yes, without a doubt, Ted. It would be...
the lightning, the rain.
Yeah, that starts up, too. That was actually going on during the reanimating of the body and stuff too. So
that's what it's supposed to be.
And these reanimated corpses or whatever you want to call them that are left over from Re-Animator are out there just running all around.
Right. It's a cemetery out there, and they're just running around loose.
I mean, I guess it's just for effect. You know what I mean? Because,
he's bringing up. He wants to kill West.
Okay, so
he wants revenge, so this is his army.
Okay, so because they do try ending up getting in the house,
right,
and all of that good stuff.
We want West.
Oh, and the lieutenant's wife she's the most terrifying.
Yeah, she's horrible.
To see a woman, an older woman like that, all bald and decrepit and zombie-like is just
too much.
Too much.
Is it too much for you to take?
Too much for me. Yeah.
I had to draw the line there. Manually manipulating the tendons was okay, but just seeing that, no. It pushes the bounds of decency.
Yeah, there's a zombie zone right there.
Zombies.
But, what happens? Herbert, he just turns on the light, right? Turns on a lamp. He's trying to get to,
What's he trying to get to? Oh, isn't he looking for Hill? The bat, he's kind of flown away, hiding somewhere.
That's what he's going after.
Yeah, there it is. He's got his gun, man. He's going to shoot Hill.
But all of a sudden, he sees Dan Kane and the bride.
And look at the stained glass and the light coming through.
It's an awesome scene. She's just sitting there.
See?
But again, the metal clamps and stuff holding the arms and hands
I like it.
And ligaments together is just...
That's how it would be, because you got to hold it all together.
And
all that skin's got to grow back. And
Herbert West goes to her, okay?
Look at it, just feels her face.
Because he created her in his mind.
Yes.
And she pulls away.
Was he trying to feel a boob almost?
I think so, yeah.
And she pulled away and grabbed onto Dan.
And Dr. Herbert West goes, I created you!
Yes.
But she
thinks that Dan created her, though.
Right. Well, like you said, he's imprinted on her, mentally.
So. He comes out and whips out his badge.
Yeah, he says, I did. Yes, that's what he says. You're under arrest.
Oh, man, the big shootout. Kapow!
And Francesca is it's raining outside. I was just going to say she was soaking wet.
She's
golden showers.
Oh, yes. Golden slumbers, golden showers. Why is Herbert even wasting bullets shooting up into the air?
I don't know.
Warning shots are bullshit.
I know. He thought he could kill it. But these are freaky scenes, man.
Oh, yes.
I'm looking at him going,
look at the black guy who's the Re-Animator. He's just crawling and he gets up close.
Almost like the little guy in Freaks.
Yes.
Underneath the,
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Love that guy.
But
I have like 6 kids.
Yeah, hey,
You get busy. Who gets busy with that?
Yeah.
How would you like that on top of you?
Guy had oh my God. So then we start getting into the whole bride and Dan Kane thing down in the basement.
Yeah.
They're in the basement, right?
Yeah, they're in the basement. He's barricading themselves in the
Herbert West and Francesca's down there too.
Yeah, they're all down there. All the
the
Re-Animated are trying to break in, and he's stacking stuff against the door. Oh, look, she's going to spill the damn reagent.
Wait, he's got a drum full, man.
Well, I guess it's not such a bad idea that he wasted a little bit bringing together little knickknacks and things.
I didn't know he had a whole drum full, though.
Well, you know that's the stuff from glow sticks? They just broke open tons of glow sticks, and that's what they used. Did you know that? No, for reals. That's what they used.
Were there glow sticks back then?
Oh, sure. Shit, we had them when we were kids. You know, they sold
Did they? Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, you're right.
You know. And they've always, for years, they've been in, like, survival kits and things, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that crap's been around forever.
Okay.
Oh, what's he doing now? He's getting out some bag. What's in there? Oh, he's going to save his work. That's what he always says.
Well, yeah.
My work!
Yes.
My
because
work!
He knows they're all trying to get in.
Oh, look at that. Francesca tries to get up on Dan here, and ooh, look how Gloria just gets in there. And
But Dan starts turning, and he tells her, like, you're so ugly.
You're monstrous. You're hideous.
I mean, is that the thing you actually tell something that you just actually blew breaths in?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because you wanted...
Well, he was caught up in that moment. It was almost like he was bringing Meg back to life.
And all of a sudden...
Because that's what he's calling her.
And
he's
now
calling her Meg.
Yeah. So it could be a mental thing, and he's
very conflicted.
Maybe he's snapping out of it now. I mean, I guess.
I mean, he wasn't too conflicted when he was, banging Francesca in the butthole.
Maybe. How do you know that happened?
Well, because they eat garlic. I mean, you want that and you're blowing in your face? If my wife eats garlic, trust me, I'm working from the back. I mean...
Yeah, but there's two entrances in the door,
Face, ass, what's the difference?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I can put it in either end.
Oh, God, she pulls Dan's hands. She pulls Dan... True. She pulls Dan's hands.
Why doesn't someone hire us?
I don't know.
She's getting it. Oh, Dan, you love me. Oh, what?
Yeah, Gloria actually takes and bites Francesca's neck.
Yeah, because she gets up close to Dan, and she takes a chomp out of her neck.
But you don't see that.
She's bleeding.
Is she bleeding there?
Yeah,
okay.
She's throwing her on the hot grill.
Oh my God, they just flipped over the table and everything.
Oh, cat fight.
She jumped.
Fight.
Wow, yeah. Ooh,
but see, if we know anything, man, she gets shocked. Gloria, man, she's getting shocked.
Well, she dumped over to Re-Animator.
Yeah, the reagent.
Herbert West goes, doesn't he say something along the lines like, wow, look how strong she is. She's no match for...
That's right.
Our powerful...
Well, she's no match for her. Well, yeah, because all the Re-Animated are like, super strong. You know?
Yeah.
Like, Corky from Life Goes On strong,
Really?
Yeah.
It's super, super strong.
Yeah, do your thing.
I draw her across the room very, very carefully.
But then, she starts having this little meaning Gloria has like this existential crisis.
Yes.
And this is awesome for like a Bride of Frankenstein type of movie. Like,
right.
What do you want me to be?
What an ending.
What do you want?
Okay, yeah, that part, okay.
Yeah. And she hasn't done it just yet.
Right.
But yeah, she's pleading with Dan, what do you want? And what she's going to do is she's going to... Oh, look at it, man.
She gets real sensual and, like, rubs her leg up his side of his leg.
Well, that's the leg of the horror right there.
That's true, yes.
That's the legs of the horror.
Prostitute!
Each one.
You're a silly prostitute, aren't you?
And she's got the hand of the murderess.
Always pouring out your body.
Trying to kill Francesca.
Yeah.
And, did you notice she was kind of up on her toes?
Yeah.
A little bit? The ballerina.
That's right.
So see?
All these little things.
Is remembering.
All these little things, yes.
And that's a neat idea, too, that a Frankenstein movie could do. But yeah, when she finally says, what do you want? She was going to reach in and pull the heart out.
Yes, like, is this what you want?
This is my heart.
Yes, I'm giving it to you. And
I mean, this is what a Bride of Frankenstein movie needs to be.
Yes. But they're not going to, Ted.
No way. It's going to be stupid.
The Bride of Frankenstein is
is
going to look very beautiful. Wow. The heart comes out there, it's pumping. But see, I wonder if because what starts happening now, and Herbert West says this too, as she starts falling apart.
Yeah.
He goes, tissue rejection.
It's almost like a little thing in the first one, he takes the two syringes. overdose.
But I wonder if Tissue would have rejected if she didn't take the heart out.
It's just a little line.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. I agree.
But because she was fine up until that point. You know what I mean? So.
Oh, and she's even attacking Dean.
Yeah.
Dan.
Dan.
I told you it would happen.
Dean Cain.
Oh, there comes the machete again. Oh, and that Re-Animated.
Ripley's, believe it or not.
They bust into the...
He did that too.
They finally bust into the lab.
The lab, yes. And he's grabbing his big, gigantic old suitcase.
He's leaving them all behind, man.
He is.
Look, yeah. Oh,
and
she is.
Gloria's hand even stuck to his neck, Dan's
and
neck.
That was the murderess's hand, the right hand. Oh, look at the head.
I know the effect. Everything.
Yeah, that's where he said tissue rejection.
Yeah, everything's falling apart.
Oh, what a great effect.
Oh, it is. It's awesome.
You know, and I got to tell you, I know we've been talking about it, but some of the ideas in this movie would be great. So great for a Bride of Frankenstein movie. I realize this goes over the top and there's laughs and gore and stuff like that.
Right.
But the ideas in this movie
the way they go
so
about
fantastic. Like, you know, having the bride, you know, what do you want? And pulling the heart out. And that would be so moving and fantastic if done in a dramatic way.
Because you're going to end it that way anyways. I mean, so give it a dramatic ending, you know.
Do it right. Do it
gothic. Here's Dr.
You bastard.
Yes, he flies in.
I love it. And now.
Flies into the mausoleum side, where you find out that he's got all these body parts.
This is what Herbert's done.
Yes, Herbert's done.
What he was doing in the wall over there?
Yes.
He was just making little monsters, heads on legs.
He would throw them in there to like just roam loose.
Yeah. He got all kinds of body parts from the morgue, from the crypts.
Yep.
And that is a little shout out to the original story when this part sort of happens in the story. He's got like his own little army of the dead that he controls.
Dog, yeah. Oh, really? Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And it was behind the wall. So,
oh my God! Yeah, and see, in reading it, you can just imagine. See, I haven't read it, but just the what you would picture, you know, the film being and stuff like that. So,
they made their own thing, but they made sure to keep a lot of the key ideas and things in there. But the story's very different, and just as good, interesting. I love all of Lovecraft's stuff. Oh. Very few stories that I don't like.
Yeah. So basically what's going on is they're all in the mausoleum now.
Right.
And everything's falling apart.
Yes.
I mean, don't ask me why everything's falling apart, but...
Shaking the foundations.
Yeah, I guess, because, it's built underground, and the ground and grass and everything is kind of falling down.
Things he's made.
Yes.
Two faces on the same head.
Yeah, like back to back.
Yeah, it looks like something out of Hellraiser.
Exactly, a Cenobite.
Yeah.
Looks
That would
totally...
have been a cool Cenobite.
Totally looks like a Cenobite, man.
Yeah, like,
all of these creatures.
I can't even describe them.
How about a line of these? You know how Star Wars gets every character a figure?
Yeah,
can you imagine
for 6 seconds? Hey, we got a figure.
Can you imagine getting some figures of these and stuff like that in here?
Yeah. Hammerhead, you saw him for like 2 seconds, if that.
I mean, there's never been a head of Dr.
Never saw the body, but he's got a body.
I know.
Dumb.
But there's never been a figure of Dr. Carl Willis with the bat wings on the side of the head, right?
Yeah, I mean, let's do that.
Jeez, I mean, come on.
Oh, the mausoleum is crashing down.
The mausoleum. A little fantastic.
And it's awesome.
I
just love that fight. Like everyone's fighting against these weird things that Herbert West has created.
And Dr. Dan Cain actually pulls himself out of the ground like
a zombie coming out of the grave,
and evidently able to pull Francesca up through it too.
Sweet.
I
think I love this movie more and more every time I see it.
Really,
I like it more now than I did when I watched it the other day.
Yeah, seriously. Oh boy, what's going on there? So he drags her, and evidently they're going to fall in love because he saved her.
That's right.
Sweet love, and to end the movie with sweet love.
Oh, look at Hill. He's trapped down in there.
They shoot back to the mausoleum again, and the Batwing's actually trying to let me out of here. Yep. And he's doing his call and stuff like that.
All the pieces.
And the shot back to the lab where Gloria is, and she's still holding her heart.
The heart,
is still there.
It's still beating a little bit, but it will stop.
It stops. Yes, the life totally goes out of it, and I think that's the end of the movie.
I mean, as far as we know, Herbert West has been crushed by rubble. Everyone's been crushed by the rubble.
Yes, in the mausoleum. Everybody's been crushed.
Yes. As far as we know, only Dan and Francesca have survived.
You got water. I didn't bring any water down this time.
I know. I'm all dry.
Maybe I'll pee in my mouth to drench.
It takes all day to catch up on
quench my thirst a bit.
Hydration.
Should I?
Maybe.
Just. You made a big stream coming up here.
So what'd you think, man? Good movie?
Yeah, I think the second half was a lot better than the first.
Yeah, you're right.
It is a little slow, but works its way to a point and really builds up towards the end. So you have to live through it to get to and like you said, I think the greatest thing I got out of this was what should be incorporated in The Bride of Frankenstein, if ever remade in any way. You can definitely take a lot of, like you said, a lot of things out of there, and this, like you said, from Lovecraft to this, how they made this movie. I think a great kind of a Bride of Frankenstein type.
That's how those
thing.
stories should be, and it's all there. Man.
It's cool.
They steal everything else. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Make it a gothic love story because that's what it's supposed to be.
Yep. So So there you go. I mean, I thought it was a great thing, and
another one done.
Another commentary. So there you go.
4 out of 5 stars.
4 out of 5 stars.
Re-Animator's 5 out of 5.
Yeah, I'll give this 3.
All right.
Which is good enough.
That's fair.
Yeah,
that's probably more a fair rating than mine.
One I probably will never go back to again, though.
No.
But I'm the type of person, I think you know that.
Yeah.
I don't watch even good movies a second time. I watch my comfort films, the really, really good films, over and over again. So, but even if it's just a good film, chances are I'm not going to go back to it.
The only ones I try to keep on my shelf are the ones if I don't watch it every year.
I think we all got those. I think we all got those kind of movies. Like a Bride of Re-Animator, I'm shooting through the channels and I see it on TV. I'm going to pass it off.
Admittedly, I will watch Re-Animator, but I won't really watch Bride of Re-Animator. Like I said, I loved Re-Animator, but even though I saw Bride. I probably rented it once, and then I think when DVD first came out, I picked it up because it was the unrated version.
Ooh.
And it reminded me, it was all right. I mean, again, what holds it back for me...
Sexy kittens.
...is that it doesn't explain the plot holes of of how he got from the end of the first one to this. You kind of have to gloss over that.
Yeah.
And I think that's, you could have made something up.
Right.
How he got away.
Yeah.
And, how they... kind of got back to Miskatonic
after
all that.
Yeah, I wonder why. Yeah,
you fix those two little things, it'd be a better movie for me.
Right.
But the ideas in it, I think, are
continuity. Continuity goes off a bit in certain.
And then there's, again, there's a third one beyond Re-Animator, and there's no continuity in that either of how he is. He's in prison in that one. He's doing his experiments in prison. But they don't really explain how he got away in that one, and there's no Dan Kane in that one.
Is that a good movie too?
I only watched it once when it was on the Sci-Fi Channel where it premiered.
Really?
I never watched it again.
Long time ago.
Yeah. It was dull.
Okay, well, who knows?
It was dull.
Who knows? So, there you go. Another one in the book.
Yes.
You may have seen this. May have seen this one in pieces parts. Okay. Shorten the length for the guys.
Pieces parts.
Pieces parts, just like Re-Animator. We'll see you later, guys. Thanks for joining the Late Late Horror Show.